What if we told you that Victor Wembanyama could be a serious MVP contender as soon as next season? It sounds bold, but not impossible. Sure, it would take a surprising leap from the Spurs as a team, but individually, Victor has already shown he's capable of greatness. In just his second year, he could be playing at an MVP caliber level. Most stars in the NBA take several seasons before even being mentioned among the top 20 players or earning All-NBA recognition, and that's perfectly normal. But Victor isn't most stars. After delivering one of the most electric rookie seasons in recent memory, he's already on pace to join the league's elite in record time. The signs are all there. His progress throughout his first season was undeniable. He wasn't bad early on, but by the second half of the year, he had clearly evolved into a far more dominant, confident, and complete player. That's why next season could mark something special, the official beginning of the Victor Wembanyama era in the NBA, and then, almost out of nowhere, Wembanyama took another leap, this time within the same season. Up until Christmas, he was solid but not spectacular, averaging around 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks per game while shooting 43% from the field and just 28% from deep. Respectable numbers for a rookie, but not quite all-star caliber yet. In fact, early on, he ranked among the league's least efficient high-volume three-point shooters and even averaged more turnovers than assists. That's normal for a young player still adjusting to the NBA, but what happened next wasn't normal at all. Most guys need a few seasons to fix their weaknesses. Wemby seemed to figure it out in real time. It was as if he finished his rookie season halfway through the year and started his sophomore campaign immediately. After Christmas, everything changed. From that point until season's end, he put up 23 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks per game, shooting 48% from the floor and 34% from 3. Those aren't just rookie improvement numbers, they're all-star, maybe even all-NBA numbers. If we're being honest, only a handful of players in the entire league, Wembanyama included, are capable of putting up those kinds of numbers right now. What's even more impressive is how quickly he addressed his weaknesses. Both of the major flaws from the start of his rookie year were already improving by season's end. Shooting 34% from 3 might not sound elite, but for a 7 feet 4 inches rookie, it's remarkable. There are plenty of centers in the NBA, much smaller than Wemby, who can't even match that from long range. If he can bump that up to around 35 to 36% in his second year, he'll be nearly unstoppable. For perspective, Kevin Durant, one of the players Victor has clearly studied and modeled parts of his game after, shot just about 35% from 3 across his first 4 seasons. The turnovers are still there, averaging a bit over 3 per game, but there's progress. His assist numbers have climbed, and he even notched a triple-double with assists, something almost unheard of for a player his size. Sure, he still needs to tighten his handle and make smarter decisions with the ball, but the growth curve he's on is extraordinary. The point is, last season we basically saw 2 different versions of Victor Wembanyama. The way he managed to level up in real time, without any real break, was nothing short of incredible. Few players evolve that fast. What he accomplished in just a few months forces everyone to ask, if he improved this much during the season, what's he going to look like after a full off-season of focused training and strength work? It's a scary thought for the rest of the league. Of course, progress isn't always linear. He's not going to add 5 points a year until he's averaging 50, but Wemby doesn't follow normal rules. Given how quickly he grew last year, it's not wild to think we might see another major leap next season. And the biggest difference might already be visible: he's bigger. You can't easily measure how much muscle he's added since entering the NBA, but the change is obvious. Compare photos from early 2023 to now, and it's clear, he's stronger, thicker, and more physically ready. That's huge because adding strength has always been one of the most important parts of his development, and it could be the key to unlocking his next level. Before Wembanyama even stepped into the NBA, one of the biggest questions surrounding him was his frame. Everyone knew he had the height and length, but could he handle the physicality of giants like Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid in the post? That concern turned out to be overstated. Not only did he post stellar numbers as a rookie, but he also held his own, and even shined, against some of the league's best big men. Still, there was room for growth. We can't ignore that Embiid once dropped 73 points in a game against him, or that some stronger players managed to muscle their way through him inside. But Wemby himself understands the balance. Adding too much bulk too quickly would be a mistake. His style is far closer to Kevin Durant's than Giannis Antetokounmpo's, relying on finesse, skill, and fluidity more than brute strength. Overloading on muscle could actually limit what makes him special. That's why his steady, controlled physical development is so promising. He's visibly stronger now, enough to hold his ground better in the post, Without losing the mobility and grace that make him such a unique weapon, Wembanyama has found the sweet spot, strong enough to battle in the post, yet light and agile enough to stay fluid, quick, and deadly with his jumper. Building that perfect balance isn't easy, but his approach looks spot on. Post play will never be his main weapon, but the fact that he's improving so quickly in areas once seen as weaknesses says everything about his dedication. He's not just adding muscle, he's shaping his body and career with precision. That commitment to smart development is a big reason why a massive leap next season feels almost inevitable. Still, it's not just about strength or rookie year growth, those alone wouldn't justify MVP buzz. What really sets Wemby apart is his mindset. He's obsessed with preparation. He treats his body like a long-term investment, and that focus will only deepen every off-season. This summer, with a full schedule of specialized training and recovery, he's setting the stage for something special. That's why it's not crazy to think we might soon see Victor Wembanyama step into true superstardom. The big difference this year is the Olympics, and Wembanyama's chance to lead France on home soil. Playing in the Olympics is already a rare honor, but doing it as your country's star player in front of your home crowd is an experience that can reshape a young player's mindset. More importantly, he'll be surrounded by proven NBA veterans like Rudy Gobert, Nicolas Batum, and Evan Fournier, guys who've spent over a decade in the league and know what it takes to last. That kind of mentorship is something Wemby didn't have in San Antonio last season, where the roster lacked veteran presence at that level. This summer, he'll be able to learn directly from them, how to handle pressure, how to lead, and how to stay consistent through the grind. On top of that, Olympic basketball itself is a different test. As Luka Doncic once said, it can even be tougher to score in FIBA play because of the rules, spacing, and physicality. That challenge will only sharpen Wemby's game. Playing alongside Gobert, a non-shooting center, will force him to adapt, finding new ways to score, create space, and make plays when the paint is crowded. Those lessons will carry straight into the NBA, helping him become even more versatile and efficient next season. In the NBA, Wembanyama won't have to deal with a crowded paint like he will alongside Rudy Gobert for Team France, but that's exactly what makes the Olympic experience so valuable. Training and competing under tougher conditions only prepares you better for what comes next. When you combine the intense summer of work ahead, the lessons he'll gain from veteran French teammates, and the confidence that comes with already knowing how the NBA operates, it's clear, things could get scary for the rest of the league very soon. The truth is, Wembanyama's so-called early struggles last season were really just part of his adjustment period. Every great player goes through it. Even LeBron James, who entered the league with massive expectations, averaged just 16 points on under 40% shooting in his first 20 games. For generational talents like LeBron or Wemby, the learning curve doesn't last long, but it still matters. And in Wemby's case, it showed early on. The Spurs struggled too, winning only 4 games by Christmas while he was still figuring out NBA speed, spacing, and physicality. But once he adjusted, everything began to change, and that's why next season could mark his true breakout as one of the league's most unstoppable forces. By the end of the year, things were already turning around. The Spurs won 9 of their last 19 games, showing real signs of growth. And when you consider that Wembanyama's adjustment period was even steeper than most, it makes his progress even more impressive. Coming from the French league, he had to adapt to an entirely different world, new rules, faster pace, greater physicality, and a completely new lifestyle. He wasn't just learning NBA basketball, he was learning life in a new country, different travel schedules, tougher media attention, constant pressure. It's a massive shift for any young player, let alone one carrying sky-high expectations. Now imagine a version of Victor Wembanyama who doesn't have to go through all that again, someone who's ready from day one, already comfortable with the rhythm, the travel, the matchups, and the demands. If he was putting up 23 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks once he settled in last season, that might actually be his floor heading into next year. And that's what many people overlook, because we tend to remember how strong he finished, not how much he had to overcome to get there. This time, with the learning curve behind him, the league might be witnessing a fully unleashed Wemby from the very start. By the end of his rookie year, Wembanyama wasn't just good, he was great. And if we assume that his post-Christmas averages of 23 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks per game become his baseline next season, that's already flirting with an MVP-level stat line.